What is going on, guys? It is your boy Chili, and today I'm uploading an old Iron Banner gameplay clip. This was from the most recent one, and I wanted to talk about moving on from last generation consoles to current generation consoles, coming from someone who owned a PlayStation 3 from release night all the way up until the night before the PlayStation 4 came out. I've been someone who's used the last generation console. I'm someone who uses the PlayStation 4 now, and honestly, one of the biggest things that I see people talking about in terms of moving forward and calling last generation consoles legacy consoles and really trying to bring out the full potential of Destiny is a lot of people feel like this is intentionally targeting certain people who have bought the game, and it shouldn't be seen like that. When you buy the new generation console, as a console gamer in general, you're getting, for a reasonably affordable price, the best gaming hardware you can get without going full blown out of your mind buying a top of the line PC, because that's how it's always been. PCs have always been, I'd say on average, 5 years ahead of what console games could do. The downfall to having a PC, and I have a buddy who has a PC and who had a PC all through high school, is that every so and so, depending on how frequently you want to game or how often you game or just really what you're trying to get out of it, you have to upgrade it. I apologize for yawning, it's very early in the morning, but you have to upgrade it, and that's not the point with consoles. However, the point is, as developers, you're supposed to get the best use out of the console when you're creating a game. Destiny was created as a, I believe, 8th generation game, 8th generation console game, meaning it was meant to be something that you picked up, and it was for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, at its release date, it was obviously one of those, it could coincide with the PS3 and Xbox 360, but if you really want to get the full potential moving forward out of Destiny and Bungie in general in terms of their game making capabilities and what we can get out of this, we needed to move away from the last generation consoles. It's just, they can't keep up. It's just not the same. I look at it as, I got a Generation 1 PlayStation 3, the original Fat Boy, that lasted me all the way up until 2 nights before the release of the PlayStation 4, and it was 60 gigs. Its RAM was decent. Granted, the PS3 wasn't that great of a console. I'm a PlayStation guy for life, but Xbox 360 just seemed to have a lot less issues. I was very fortunate that I never had to replace my PlayStation 3. But besides that, when you look at just the Xbox One and Xbox 360 or PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, the capabilities are just night and day different. And we're not even talking about just the games that it can store in terms of memory. Look at 500 gigs on this one, and we're looking at, 120, maybe 240, just if you bought one from the store and you didn't put in any external hard drives. That's a drastic difference. And one of the biggest things I see in the Bungie community, I'm very in on this myself, is complaining about things like limited open world social spaces, or social spaces like the Reef or the Tower, or never having enough vault space. And like, obviously there are plenty of people out there who are like, how the fuck do you not have enough vault space? But as someone who tries to get a little piece of everything we've ever done in Destiny, at least all the way through year 1 and then into the Taken King, if you look at my vault, it's not like I have a bunch of duplicates of things. I really just have things for each character. I try to get the full experience out of them. And not so much that, but I mean, graphically this can be pushed to higher levels. I have an Asus monitor. It's a very nice monitor, but the game can look better. Look at Doom and how it played online during the beta and how it plays now compared to Destiny Online, and realize that the capabilities that Bungie has to make Destiny a more visually appealing and just overall better game is monumental. And in order to do that, we really had to look at phasing out old console systems. I know some people say, well, not everyone can afford those systems, and me personally, I've always been someone who says that's bullshit. I saved up money. We had a family PlayStation 2 way back in the day, and I had that thing for years, and I had to share it with my brother, who was a lot older than me. I had to share it with the family when we had people come over. But what I did do was I saved up money from doing things like chores, or if I ever worked jobs with my dad or stepdad, because I realized that when the next generation system came out, I could afford that. I honestly, this is a weird story, but I gave up a trip to Hawaii for a PlayStation 3. We have family stationed on a military base in Hawaii. I gave up the trip to go see them. Granted, being stuck on a military base as a kid isn't like the most exciting thing to do, so that kind of factored in too. But I gave up a trip to Hawaii for a PlayStation 3, and for my PlayStation 4, when I knew that I'd have to buy it on my own if I didn't want to share it with anybody, I took the time to save money. And I've always said, if you saved $10 a month, $5 a month, $60 a year, right? Just money you outright didn't touch. Don't spend it on dumb shit as a kid. And I know that's hard to say sometimes, but not spending it as a kid, or doing something as simple as putting it away, just over the lifespan. $60 a month, times 5 years. That's enough money to put a good amount down for a console. $10 a month for a whole year, $120 a year. You could buy a console after 3.5 years. So when people really try to pull the "I don't have enough money" card, I can't afford it, maybe as kids, if you don't have a job or whatever, but then again, if you want that, you have to get it. If your parents aren't going to buy it for you, you have to get it on your own. I know some people out there really struggle, and they have consoles where they go, well, okay, I can't afford the PlayStation 4 right now. And I look at how cheap the PS4 was compared to the PS3 on launch day. I still remember waiting in line. The PS3 was $600 and some change, and this one came out and it was $400, I believe. So I just really don't buy that excuse. At this point, having been out for 3 years now, you should be able to afford a new system. I want to see Destiny's true capabilities come to the surface. I think a lot of people want that. A lot of the people that I've seen that have been complaining and saying that it's unfair, I really think it's just people who, if you enjoy Destiny and you're always the people who want to see change and big things happen, more vault space, you have to realize that you're limited by the hardware you use. It's no different than a craftsman who has tools that just slowly become more and more obsolete. I mean, eventually everything has to be updated. It's just the way of life. That's how it's always been, especially with electronics. Like you look at older phones, smartphones, and their capabilities are drastically less than newer phones that come out. For the most part, like I look at the Galaxy S3 and the Galaxy S7 as an example, or the original iPhone to the iPhones now. They don't compare because you get better, you make it smaller, more powerful, more capable. That's what they need to do with Destiny. And I know I'm going off. It's been like an 8-minute commentary. I didn't want to, do a super long commentary, but I feel like this is important to discuss because really moving forward with Destiny 2, Rise of Iron, and any expansion that comes out after that, I want to see really expansive raids. I mean, I don't want to see a 4-hour raid on average. You look at, you look at the raids we do now. We've got it down to a science where if you're not wiping, you can do it within an hour with a solid team. So it never should be that crazy, but being able to put out more content, like when a DLC comes out, I like Rise of Iron. I think it's, a new campaign, new raid, all that stuff is great, but only being able to put out stuff, at least previously, that had to accommodate old gen systems was really irksome, because it was like, at this point, it should be more about the people who are contributing to the future of the game, not about people who are content to stay on old consoles. So anyways, that's my rant, guys. I hope, I hope to see positive feedback on this, like in terms of where people stand. If you're a true fan, not just of Destiny, but of any next-gen franchise, or, like if you watched the Sony press conference last night, there was a lot of amazing games that were coming out. And you can't really limit yourself in terms of bringing out the best quality of games. That's the whole point is, it's supposed to be affordable, but you're supposed to get the best bang for your buck. And when you look at other games that have moved on and really put time into just making stuff for these current gen consoles, the games really are noticeably different. So that, anyways, that's going to be it for this commentary. I'm going to upload this today. I'm going to try to upload once a week this week. Maybe discuss the new potential PvP mode. But let me know what you guys think down in the consoles. Is it a good thing to leave behind old gen systems? I guess they're going to be calling them of legacy consoles now. which I think is awesome. I think it's awesome that we might see a schism of content, that maybe they get something and then we get something, and then I would like to think that they won't get anything exclusive. I don't know if it's messed up to think that, but like me personally, if our systems can support what they're doing for them and then what they're doing for our consoles, I think we should get it all. I've never really been a super big fan of, you know, like branching out and making a bunch of exclusive stuff for one console. It happened for the longest time with the 360, and I look at it now. It's just one of those. That's just not how it should be, unless a specific console bought exclusive rights. So, but anyways, that's getting off topic. Very long commentary, 11 minutes. Holy shit. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below and on the forum. Stay focused, stay humble, stay driven, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.